Hey Geminis, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to your general reading for May 2023. This is going to be for my Gemini Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You can also check Jupiter as well as any other placement that you feel drawn to. This is going to be for you guys. I am going to get into just a quick couple of channel messages that came through while I was trying to get into your energy. Not a whole lot, just a couple things to take note of. And then we'll get into some cards and we'll see what's going on for you guys for May, okay? Please keep in mind that I'm titling them as May, but these are timeless, so it's whenever you feel them, whenever you see them, whenever you resonate, whenever it calls to you, whatnot, okay? So first and foremost, getting into your energy, I was picking up something about practical magic. And then I don't know if the saying that followed is a part of practical magic, but I can't remember the entire saying, but it's like light as a feather something. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know if that stems from practical magic or if that is just like a witchy type thing, but overall witchy type vibes. Definitely, and it feels like seasoned magic, something that you're doing. Maybe you do certain like spells or rituals or something like that. I just keep seeing dirt, like the soil, and it makes me wonder if you guys need to connect more to nature, or if there's something about specifically you planting, even if it's just inside, because I'm seeing that little like shovel like thing for doing plants and such. Even if it's not outside, but it's just the little tiny ones for like herbs and such in your kitchen, I'm just getting the sense that you need to have your hands like in the dirt, in the soil. That just came through super strong. But yeah, so practical magic was what kind of started this off. If you have not watched it or read the books, I highly recommend. The books are all wonderful. I have not seen the movies personally, but the book's great. And it's a pretty solid reference. I feel like a lot of us understand, especially if you're into these types of things. If you're here watching this video, you probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, a lot of like needing to connect with the earth or needing to put your hands in soil to plant something. And I feel like it's almost like maybe even like a motherly sense of like needing to plant something from the seed to nurture it and bring it to life. It is watching this entire like full circle moment when you see them finally sprout, when you're taking care of them, and then when you're gaining like sustenance or abundance by clipping those herbs and using them in what you're making, or using them for rituals. Seeing rosemary, I think is what that is, rosemary or thyme. It's rosemary. I'm seeing rosemary. So yeah, rosemary might be big for you. I know rosemary is huge for protection. So yeah, seeing that from seed to nurturing it, watching it sprout, using those items in either rituals or food. Although I feel like it's a lot of rituals. I'm also getting something about the number 13 coming through now that I'm like getting into this. Something about the number 13 is huge. I don't know if it's just been something very like consistent, if it's been a lucky number. For some of you, I feel like it's a number that has followed you through like maybe some generations. And that's why I think the practical magic series would be important for you guys too, because they talk about like the lineage of things kind of like coming down the line in their family being witches, in their family using magic. But the number 13 is huge. I know that the death card is number 13, and the death card in tarot right now is really relevant because it's Scorpio energy, and I'm recording this right now on May 5th, which is the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So I say this to anybody, but I'm going to say it here in this video. Please, with this eclipse, check out where that energy falls in your chart, which brings me full circle to what I wanted to say before. But let me tie that knot up first before I go off onto another thing. But 13 is coming in really strong, and I feel like it has a direct connection to the feminine or female like lineage. Ooh, look, 2 crows. Crows have been huge for all my videos lately. They just keep flying by in all my videos. But 13 can be very specifically connected to a certain female or feminine figure. Could be multiples. Again, really reminds me of practical magic and the way it follows them down the line through their lineage. But 13 coming in strong in some way, shape, or form. The reason why the Scorpio thing brought me full circle is because originally I was going to say that Gemini risings specifically, if you have a Gemini rising, this means that Scorpio is going to rule your 6th house. So this full moon eclipse, lunar eclipse, is happening in your 6th house. And the reason why I wanted to bring it back around to this was originally one of the channel messages that I was picking up on was that I was getting the sense of like, here seeing like maybe in the drain, if you're like draining the sink or the tub or something, and you watch it kind of slowly, and it moves, and it gets to the point where it moves so rapidly that it like circles in really tight and then looks like it's not doing anything. Do you know what I'm talking about? I hope that makes sense. Or if you see something kind of like spinning, it's like wobbling, then it gets faster and faster and faster, and again it spins and coils really tightly, and it looks like it's almost like a line. It looks like it's not moving, it's not doing anything, but it's super powerful. This tornado almost like imagery came to mind. And the reason I wanted to bring it up was because it felt like something was getting like almost out of control. Like it was heightening and heightening and heightening. And then I felt as though when it broke, when it came back down, when that energy lessened, the drop all the way back down was really quick, really rapid. So it's almost the way that I feel is symbolic for, do not let your emotions get the best of you over little things right now. Don't let it trigger you, specifically for my Gemini risings, or if you have Scorpio in some other placement, but Gemini risings will have Scorpio ruling that 6th house. Right now with this eclipse and with lunar eclipse with Scorpio, it's a lot of water energy. It's a lot of energy coming straight from the moon. So this can be our emotions, and it can be almost a conditioning emotion. So stuff that we're like used to, stuff that is kind of lingering in the back of our like subconscious, stuff that maybe we react to just like off the cuff, but we don't need to. It's almost as if in the past XYZ would have happened, so naturally your brain, your body is like, oh, it's gonna happen again. It's pattern recognition. So that tornado imagery really made me feel like, okay, you guys have to be mindful of when you get really like tied up in those emotions, because you think that like it's getting big and big and big and big and bigger, and to the point where it's so almost like out of hand or out of control. And then the descent back down, when you realize like, okay, this isn't a big deal, like hits you really hard. So it's almost like be mindful of the way that your emotions are going to kind of poke and prod rather. I feel like you guys are going to be a bit sensitive to certain things. I feel like you guys are going to get triggered a lot right now. Anytime we see a full moon, we are going to talk about releasing things, endings, completing cycles is a huge thing. And then Scorpio is all about not just like I was kind of talking about that like cycle of life, death, rebirth. Scorpio is that full cycle of life, death, and rebirth. It's also transformation, that Pluto energy. Be mindful of where Pluto is in your chart, because having Pluto just going into Aquarius, Pluto and Scorpio, so wherever Pluto is, whatever Pluto is doing in conjunction with wherever Scorpio lies in your chart is going to be huge. It's going to give a lot more info as to where you're going to see these cycles wrap up, where you're going to see these almost, I want to call them karmic clearings. I just heard the love doctor. That's weird, but it doesn't feel like love in like a romantic way. It feels like you're wrapping up again like some sort of karmic contract, something to do with your soul contracts and things like that. These are people in your life that I feel like have really triggered you a lot. Please keep that in mind. Again, it keeps coming up, it keeps coming up, and it keeps coming up, okay? I feel like the 6th house, if you don't know, by the way, I should probably go over that. The 6th house is going to talk about your day-to-day things. It's your daily schedule. It's what you're doing day in and day out. It can be work-related, because it is, day in, day out. You go to work, you do the thing, you go home, yada, yada. So it can be literally work-related. But to me, the work feels like it could be work that you've been doing on yourself, with your shadow side, or anything like that. But it's the daily, it's also your health and your wellness. And right now, while we're talking about the moon, while we're talking about Scorpio, your health and wellness could very well be your emotional health, okay? How you regulate your emotions. So I feel like that's why it's like, hey, that Scorpio energy could really dig up these deep transformational things, because again, Pluto, Scorpio is huge. Sorry for the noise in the background. I got the window open and I live in a busy area. But yeah, that Scorpio energy could really talk about these massive transformations. So it drudges up all of these things that are hidden, okay? It drudges up a ton of stuff that's very deep within our souls. So just be mindful, okay? Especially my Gemini risings, like I said. Okay, so that is 10 long minutes of channel messages. So what are you doing? Cats in the background. I feel like, honestly, this is a message in itself where you have like the sirens going off in the background, and then you have, I got the cat over here like playing with some stuff. I feel like this is your day-to-day. It's the fact that you'll see these stressors come up. There will be a lot of stuff going on in your day-to-day. Maybe you have kids, you just got things going on. It becomes really overwhelming, hence your emotions spiraling very fast, okay? So for you guys trying to think if I wanted to do an oracle. Part of me kind of doesn't even want to do an oracle. I don't feel like I want to. Yeah, I don't really. Nothing calls to me. I feel like I should just kind of go into tarot, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, nothing's really calling. I feel like we got a lot with our channel messages, so we're just gonna do this instead. Get some more details as to what's going on. All right, 5 shuffles here for Gemini. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, or any other placement that's important. Whatever they most need to hear right now. Wow, interesting. Some interesting channel messages in the beginning there. Just like I said, be super mindful of the way everything comes to the forefront right now. Be mindful of your emotions, how you regulate them, how you work through things that are bothering you, that are triggering you. I don't know how many this was, so I'm going to do 2 more. Okay, let's get some messages for Gemini. Cat's going crazy, they're feeling it. All right, let's get your current energy, Gemini. So you have 6 of Wands reversed here is your current energy. And then your block right now. Okay, guys. I know that it comes as no surprise, but I think that you are, and I mean this in the most nice, gentle, loving way. I think that you guys are getting in your own way. That's what I think. 6 of Wands reversed, this energy that you're sitting in right now is feeling like a failure. Like, that's what I get more than anything. And so, I have chills too. For some of you, I feel like that day-to-day stuff that you're dealing with could be that you're dealing with, like I mentioned, that conditioning. You know, I react to this thing, so I'm so used to this happening and it leading to this exact thing. So it's like pattern recognition. Some of you, this could have to do with people or a specific person in your life that is making you feel that way or triggering you to feel as such. Because, yeah, I just get the sense of like being belittled. I just get the strong sense of being completely belittled. This is slowly evolving into the person that you're dealing with being very angry, very demeaning, like verbally to you possibly. There's a strange power dynamic here. And I don't know if that means that this could even be like a family, like a parent thing, or like an older relative or something. But there's a weird power dynamic. When Pluto's moving around and there's a lot of Scorpio energy, it doesn't always surprise me because it can be, depending on what Pluto's doing in your chart, power struggles. Especially if Pluto is opposition to something like Venus, or if it's a square Venus or something like that, you know what I mean? It can really talk about, it's power struggle within your connections, whether it's romantic or family or whatever. But I just get the sense of like belittling and like demeaning. Like I feel like someone that is so mean, but I'm just gonna tell you what I hear. I feel like someone either says to you or thinks that you are literally too stupid to get something accomplished. I don't like that. That is disgusting behavior. But whether they say it out loud or whether they think that, someone has this image of you that you are genuinely like not smart enough to do something, that they're basically better than you because they have their perspective of what like better means, or about what intelligence means. Their perspective of things is different than yours is, and so it's almost a sense of mine is right. Like, maybe, you know, like you don't want to, this is just a random example, but maybe you don't want to use like mainstream like pharmaceuticals or like medicine or something like that for your kids. You know, you want to do it in a homeopathic way, you want to do it natural. And I feel like the other person, your partner or parent trying to tell you like what to do, is like, you really shouldn't be doing that with your kids. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, how could you X, Y, Z? You're putting them in danger just because you blah, blah, blah. You know, you want to do this and you're putting your kids through that. Like, this is what it feels like to me. It feels so demeaning, like someone is trying to tell you how to do something because they genuinely do not think that you're smart enough. They look at your opinions and then like they just looked down at what you're doing or your beliefs or the way that you go about something. I mean, I feel like it could even be a sense of like, you know, maybe a person's like, we have to act now and do this thing, and you're like, well, there is strength in being silent and holding space. And I just don't think that the person agrees. This person feels like they're super like belittling. Originally, I was going to say that you guys are kind of getting in your own way, you're overthinking, you're holding yourself back, but I feel like this subconscious, like this patterning, especially like I said before with Scorpio being in your 6th house, like this stuff that's triggering you because it's happened before, so it's almost like, of course it's going to happen this way again. But I feel like with the 6 of Wands specifically, it can talk about feeling like a failure, or feeling like you are like ashamed or embarrassed, because it talks about being in the public eye in some way, or being in front of somebody, like other people or a person is witnessing you like fail at something, and I feel like it's really triggering for you. Or you could maybe feel like, I have to be successful in this type of way because this person views this in their very own specific way. So if I fail in front of them, then like they're gonna make fun of me, they're going to say something about it, they're gonna belittle me. Like I just feel like it could even be traditional schooling versus getting your like a GED or something like that. Like there's just this sense that this person or these people around you in your immediate environment do not think that you are smart enough. They do not think that you are intelligent in the way that they are, and they view their type of intelligence as superior. That's it. That's just it. Period. Because then the blocking energy here, your obstacle is the Fool in reverse. And this coming out as your obstacle is that because you have failed before, you are too afraid to step out and take a risk again. I feel like it's a sense of this person or these people, this conditioning, it's creating a sense of fear inside of you that if I do this and I fail, then what are they going to say about me? What is so-and-so going to say about me? I feel like you feel as though you're going to fail at something, or it's not going to go well. You're going to take a risk and be like, hey, I'm going to take a risk and do this cool thing that I really like or I love, whatever. And I feel like if it doesn't go well, this person is going to be like, as expected, like they're just gonna roll their eyes and talk down to you, like, of course it didn't work out, like, what are you, stupid? Like, it's not gonna work out for this reason and that reason, like, why didn't you see that before? You could avoid this whole thing, blah, blah, blah. It's so negative, so demeaning, it's so rude, it's incredibly like disheartening. Like, it's sad that someone would talk to you or about you like this, especially if it's like your partner, you're raising kids together. Abhorrent behavior. Hang on one second. Okay, you're making a lot of noise, buddy. Alright, anyways, so yeah, that's just atrocious. I could think of a dozen different words. I'm not gonna go there right now, but okay, let's move on. Okay, so we have King of Pentacles coming out here. I feel like this is a past energy almost. I don't know why I feel that way, but I do. King of Pentacles could mean that you have Taurus in your chart. You could be dealing with a Taurus, or you or someone else could just be embodying this energy. Usually someone that is very successful in whatever way that might be. Someone who, because of their success, it feels almost like a long-standing success. Like this person may have been doing the same thing for quite a while, the same career for quite some time, like something like that. But it's success. Oh my God, the cats are going crazy right now. It is success. It is establishing something, and usually this is kind of like CEO energy to me when it comes out. It's that you've done so well, and now you have all these riches, you have all these material possessions, because it is Taurus. So it is your material possessions, what you value. So this was in the past, I feel like. If it's not, don't worry about it. Read it as just like a general energy, but it feels very much like the past to me. And then I have 10 of Cups reversed. I feel like this King of Pentacles combined with this 10 of Cups reverse is like, I had all these things on the outside. It looked really nice from the outside. It looked loving and wonderful and abundant and beautiful from the outside. But I wasn't happy with inside the home, or inside at the like nitty gritty of the relationship, the core values and the foundation wasn't there. It's almost like all the other stuff around it. Like maybe you're with a person, if this is romantic, where it's like they took you out to these nice dinners, they provided for you, they provided for your family, they made sure you and your kids or whomever had nice clothes and had all the things that maybe you could ever want. They paid for you to, I don't know, get your nails done, to get some sort of grooming service, whatever. It's almost like they've taken care of you in a sense of a material way, but they have not taken care of your heart. And I'm just like teary-eyed as soon as I said that. It's like you might know where I like to shop or what food that I like to eat, but you don't know me. You don't know me at my core and who I am, what I stand for, what I believe in. It's like they're missing this very integral part of you. And I feel like it's almost like you had all those things. Granted, keep in mind, energy is fluid, so this could also be reversed. It's almost like you had all those things on the outside, like I said, clothes, food, all the nice things, but you didn't have a partner or this person that you're wanting this love from or wanting this recognition from or whatever. You didn't have that from them. They weren't able to give that to you. They just didn't know how. They maybe don't still know how. And I feel like that's just a disconnect that I don't know if it'll ever become a thing. I don't know if it'll ever become reality for you. I think that this person genuinely is, unfortunately, incapable of giving that aspect to you, to understanding you and your soul on a very real level. On a very real level. And I feel like, especially with Scorpio coming in right now, with all of that full moon energy, the eclipse, it's gonna be wild. I feel like it's really gonna bring some things to light for you that have been deeply buried. All right, moving on. I have 4 of Swords in reverse. I really get the sense that you guys are trying to find a way out of your current situation, but I feel like right now you are not going to find it. If anything, it's going to be a time for you to rest, to look within. And when I say a time, it could be different for everybody. This could be as little as a couple days. This could be a few weeks, months. This could even be a year or more. This time that I have that you're taking right now is hugely just important for your overall health, emotional, mental, like spiritual, more than anything, all of those, like that combination. It's really going to be a time of deep reflection that you are going to need to be able to move forward, especially if Scorpio dredges up some stuff you did not want to come up. You need ample time, and I feel like you need to, like, you're thinking of a way out. Like, that's what it feels like to me. You're trying to figure out, how am I gonna get myself out of the situation so I can get into something better, happier, more abundant? Like, how do I remove myself from the place that I've kind of dug myself so deep? Because I do feel like it's very much embedded, kind of like that little, like, seed in the soil. And you've grown it for quite some time, and you've watched it, and especially if this is a relationship, it's like literally seed to stem to, you know, the full blossomed plant, and now it's almost like you're in that, like, withering stage of something. And so I feel like there's a lot of grief, a lot of grieving that needs to happen or has happened, depending on where this point is in your life. And that's just something that genuinely takes time. It just takes time. Moving on, I also have the 3 of Pentacles. I feel like the way I want to word this is that you guys are trying to rework a contract. I feel like you guys are trying to rework a contract. And it's so funny that I want to word that, because it's like a soul contract. It's like, let me go back over that paperwork and see if there's a loophole, see if there's something that I missed. Like, for whatever reason you're reviewing, it could be reviewing as to how do I get out of this, but it's reworking a contract. So if you guys cannot leave a situation or remove yourself from an energy that you're in, you might be trying to rework it, as in, maybe I can move some things around and make it better for myself while I'm trying to, you know, sit in this 4 of Swords reversed energy and figure out where I want to go, how I want to approach this, how I want to fix, or how I want to, I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do with the situation. But I feel like you're trying to rework a contract, definitely with, like, what feels to be one specific person, just because 3 of Pentacles always involves other people or another person. And the Tower reversed. Perfect. With the 10 of Swords. I feel like it's you guys trying to rework it, because you are trying to make sure that you have checked off everything. You've checked off all the boxes. You've tried all the things. You've tried every route, every avenue. You have explored every option that you possibly could. Because when the Tower comes out reverse, for me, it's like you're putting it off, something that needs to end, or something, a tower that needs to fall. Something just genuinely is not good right now. And maybe you're trying to rework the contract as to, like, before I let this die, before I fully say no more, before I fully say that's it, I'm completely emotionally disconnected, I'm no longer invested, no longer investing. It feels as if you guys are, you want to double check, you want to be sure, you just want to make sure that, like, you're good. And then you also have 10 of Swords, like I said. So this combo for me is like, I want to rework everything and see what I can do, what I can manage. Are there any loopholes? Because I know that this is going to take a toll on me. This is going to take a mental toll on me with all the swords. It's going to really affect me. Any air signs, I always feel as though you guys are, you know, more affected mentally, of course, because overthinking and whatnot. And just communication in general. But I feel like you guys are like, I know this is gonna suck and I know it's gonna hurt, and I just want to be sure before I fully say no to something, before I put myself in this space. You want to be kind of prepared for it, or you want to know, like, what you're getting yourself into. Okay. I think right now, like I said, to be mindful of your emotions, check out Practical Magic, either the books or the movies if you haven't seen it. I think right now is a time for reflection. It's a time for quiet. We try not to manifest or do anything wild usually during any eclipse, because it can just be, like, overwhelming. And this is a big deal. So definitely take your time with this. Be gentle with yourself. You know, look within for answers or for guidance. Try not to look outside of yourself, which I believe I talked about that in my Libra video as well. I think you just need to rework that contract. Go back, look over everything, see what's there before you make your decision, like, concrete and solidify it. Because you know that whatever you got going on here is going to affect you in a myriad of different ways, especially mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So you just want to do everything that you can before you officially have to say, okay, that's enough. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm moving on. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Whatever it is for you, whatever your situation is. Okay. All right. my lovely Geminis, I love you guys so much. If you resonated and you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, hit the like button. It really helps me get my video out to other people. It means the world to me. I really appreciate you guys. Of course, comment if you resonate and you feel drawn to. And last but not least, obviously, hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and hit the bell notification to get notified of all my upcoming videos. And on that note, happy full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I'll see you guys so soon.